Good afternoon, everyone. It's Ian from Ranking the Obscure here. Hope everybody's well on this day. We've actually got some sun here. Makes a change. It's quite nice. So today we are going to have a look at one of the first of the sort of progressive melodic bands we'll be looking at. We're looking at Cloudscape today. They're a Swedish band. Formed in 2001 by Mike Anderson, who has sung vocals with Planet Alliance, and drummer Roger Landin. They've had, I think it's 5 albums, and there's not a bad album. So how I've ranked these is basically my, favourites, because there's not a bad track on any of them. There's nothing there that I don't like. So it was quite hard. I had to listen to the whole lot before I could do this, because I listen to it quite a lot and I just have it on. But to actually sit and rank it, I had to seriously sit down and listen to this, because it is terrific. So let's start. Okay, I've just had a technical hitch. There we go. Okay then, so coming in at number 5 is their 2012 album, New Era. This actually is the first album that had the lineup that's with them now, because by 2014 some of the guys that left, the bass player had left, the original drummer and one of the guitar players. So we had Fredrik Johansson Jokesson on drums, Heike Nader on the bass, and Stefan Rosvik. I do apologise, my Scandinavian is not hot. Okay then, so the first track on this album, Silver Ending. This has got some real heavy drums in this. It's got a thumping burst of bass and lots of shredding, lots of screeching on the guitar, and Mick Anderson is all over this. His voice is hugely underrated. Again, underrated. Great song that is. Second track is Share Your Energy. It's just one of them solid progressive metal rock tracks. It's got some great riffs, short little bits of screechy guitar, everything I like. Use of the what they call the wang bar, absolutely brilliant. Then we get my favourite track on this album. It's called Kingdom of Sand. It's got that Middle Eastern feel to it. It's got one hell of a bass line on this. It just dominates this track, and everyone else sort of fits round this track. The keyboards fits lovely round the bass line in this. Terrific song. One of my favourite songs by the band. And the fourth track on here, Pull the Brake. This has got a weird piano start. There's something about Cloudscape start of their songs. You always get something a bit, this is not Cloudscape, then all of a sudden, boom, you get that's Cloudscape. So this has got a bit of a piano intro, and then this heavy riff comes from nowhere, and the vocal is superb on this. Next track, Seen It All Before. Again, this has got an interesting start. Got some great guitar effects, and then storms in with that classic prog metal sound, with that terrific riff that you expect from any prog metal band. Absolutely brilliant. The next track, Your Desire. This is fast, heavy. The drumming on this is just unbelievable. Storming track. Then we get Voyager 9. Another storming track. The drums are just unbelievable. You know, he changes pace and beat in this. As Joachim Sommer, but he does it with flawless. And then we get Simplicity, a good solid track. It's really, really good. Then we get Before Your Eyes. Now this starts off with some bongos, and you think, what? And then it goes straight into one of them grinding, driving riffs. It's just terrific stuff. And then we get Violet Eve. The keyboards on this track are just amazing. Just terrific sound, and the way it works through the whole song. I mean, sometimes you get keyboards that just seem to go into the song, just you know, but this actually entwines with the riffs. It sort of counter-reacts the riffs. Terrific song. Then we get the Into the Unknown. Another great track. Just very consistent, really good sounding. And then the album finishes up with Heroes. I'd say out of the whole album, this is the weakest track on the album, but it's still a cracking track. Really good, solid track. Okay then, coming in at number 4 is their debut album from 2004, self-titled Cloudscape. So this has got the original lineup on of Mike Anderson, Bjorn Elasson, Patrick Savard, Haynes Persson and Roger Linden. Great album for your debut album. Really, really good. Let's have a look at the tracks. First track on it, As the Light Leads the Way. It's got a great riff and solo to start with. You know, first thing you get is a riff and a guitar solo. Can't go wrong with that. Another solid track. Then we get Under Fire. Love this track. It's got some belter keyboards which works around the guitar melody again. Very, very nicely done. Then the best track on the album, Aqua 275. It's one of them songs that you get a nice mellow verse, and then the chorus, it's just heavy and hard. I love them sort of tracks where the tempo changes up and down. Absolutely brilliant track. Then we get The Witching Hour. Again, amazing keyboards in this album. It just doesn't even mention who it is, but they're terrific. Another great track. Then we get In These Walls. All I can say about this is it's just a classic progressive metal track. Does what it says on the tin. Everything you expect from prog metal. Doesn't matter if it's Dream Theater, Symphony X, Threshold. It's just there. Then we get Out of the Shadows. Some solid fast drumming here. Roger Landon really nails it on this. He knows the stuff. He's terrific. And then we get a great guitar solo in this. Now this next track was a bit surprising. Every Day Is Up to You. This starts with one of their weird starts. It's all danced keyboard. You go, what the hell? But then it just storms into another great rocker. You sort of got your minds put at rest when you know you get them great riffs again. Then we get Dawn of Fury. Solid as you like. Great track, great vocal on this. Very solid. Then we get Slave. This is a dark song. So you get these dark, meaningful, atmospheric riffs. And the vocal on this is very strong, very mystique. And we get The Presence of Spirits. Another of those tracks that opens with a bass line that gets you right at the start. you're hooked into the song. Then we get Scream. This has got a great melody. The keyboard again is great on this. And the last track on this album, Losing Faith. Nice solid track, lots of guitar screeches, bit of shredding, everything you need for a great track. Okay, then coming in at number 3 is the third album from 2008, and it's Global Drama. This is the last album that featured Roger Landin, Heinz Versen and Bjorn Olaisen. What a way for them to go out. It was great drumming. This is from Roger Landin. This is probably his best drumming in his time in Cloudscape. Start off with a track called Mind Diary. It's got that typical Cloudscape start with the piano and keyboard, and then boom, heavy guitars. Very, very good track. Anderson's vocals on that are just terrific. Second track, Darkest Legacy. Now this is again one of their different starts. We get flutes and strings, and you go, okay, you thought you was going to get a bit of a mellow track. Wrong. Boom, heavy riffs. Excellent track. Then we get Cloak and Daggers. This is another one that's got that Eastern vibe, which works well with the keyboards, that providing that mystique sound from the East. Terrific song. Then we get Pain in Blood. This is Landrin's best drum performance. He is solid. He's all over this track. Great metal track. It's just what you expect, you know, just what it says on the tin. You say metal and that song tells you what metal is. Then we get a track called The Silence Within. Again, that eerie piano at the start. Then we get those driving riffs and guitar solos that just sound fantastic. This one sounds really good under the headphones, folks, so you're going to buy this or listen to it, put the headphones on. Then we come to the best song on the album, and probably one of their best songs in the catalogue. Now this starts with some bagpipes, very Celtic. And I thought, whoa, this is right up my street. And then you get this bass line that sets the mood. It is a slower song on Cloudscape's catalogue, but it's not very slow. It's fantastic. It's a good track, and I've got a frog in my throat. Oh, that's better. Then we get a track called Agathus. Oh dear. Keyboard start. This is so atmospheric. And then the drums come in, followed by a deep guitar riff. Then it goes into a nice mellow track, and then you get these stormy vocals. Great track. Then we get Static, another solid track. It's again, it's one of them that's not the best one on the track on the album, but it's still a brilliant track. Then we get Fragile. This is a bit of an anthem. Lighters, Phone Lights, really good song. And then we get a bit of an epic, Eyes of Jealousy. It's a 9-minute epic, proper progressive metal, really good. Got some great riffs in the track. Mick Anderson's vocals are just all over this. Terrific song. Then we get Ritual of the Blade. It's a bit Halloweeny, but there's nothing wrong with that, because another great band. It's just got that drumming. It's just very similar to how Halloween do their drumming. It's just a constant riff, it's just brilliant. The album ends up with a track called Justice. This just rocks. The drumming on this, fast, heavy and tight. Flawless performance from Landing. Okay then, coming in at number 2 is their current album that was released in 2016, Voice of Reason. This is probably their heaviest album in the catalogue. Every track on this is heavy, hard, and the vocal from Anderson is just tremendous. Starts off with a track called A New Design. This has got a great keyboard start, and then the drums come in slightly, and then you got this heavy riff, and this is probably the heaviest track they've ever recorded. Absolutely storming. It's on the verge of thrash metal. It's terrific. Then we get Futuristic Psycho. This is another ripper. Lots of them guitar screams and lots of wang bar and some brilliant fast drumming again. Absolutely hits it on the nail. Then we get a track called Don't Close Your Eyes. It's got another great riffs, and you get some great double guitar soloing in this. Absolutely brilliant. Then we get a corker, All for Metal. It's what it says. It's a great metal song, great lyrics. This is like the Saxon style of heavy metal, and the way that Saxon write their lyrics. Love that song. And then we get probably one of the best songs I've ever recorded. It's the title track, Voice of Reason. It's 11 minutes and 31 seconds. What can you say about this? This is everything that you expect in an epic prog metal song. It's up there with stuff by Dream Theater, Symphony X. It's just absolutely brilliant. The vocals great, the guitar works great, and it tells a story. It's just brilliant track. Love it to bits. Then we get Thunders of Extreme. It's just carrying on for the rest of the album. It's just these great drumming riffs on this, terrific. And then you think you're going to get a slow track in the next track, Needle in the Eye. Slow start, but then boom into one of them all mighty heavy tracks. It's unbelievable. Then we get the last track on here. This is another epic, 9 minutes 11, called In Silence We Scream. This has actually got an acoustic guitar, and you think, oh, bit different. And then the track just builds up, and they add layers of guitar, bass, vocal, and then it ends up with a guitar solo it's got everything, screeches, shredding, and then you think you've heard, oh, this is great, and then you get the two guitars. It's a terrific way to end an album. Absolutely out the top drawer. Terrific album. So my number one, it's been my number one for a little while. It's just solid from track 1 to track 12. One of Mike Anderson's, it's probably his best vocal performance in the band. It's just terrific. So it's Crimson Skies from 2006, and it was their second album. So the first track on here is Shape Shifter. 24 seconds into the track, and you've already got a great guitar solo. The mixed vocal on this is great. It's one of the all-time album openers. Terrific. Then we get a track called Shadowland. Again, it's got that Eastern sort of feel to it. What's clever about this track? Towards the start of it, it has this noise. Now, what it is, it's actually a call into prayer in a Muslim country. Now, a few years ago, I was in Marrakesh, and the hotel we were staying in was literally a stone's throw from that huge mosque in Marrakesh. And at 5 o'clock every day, you'd get the calling to prayer. But for the people around there, it meant a gin at the bar. But you know, you could set your clock. You know, it was coming up to 5 o'clock. It's a great track, and that like the calling to prayer works so well in this track. Terrific song. The track is And Then the Rain. This is just a belter of a track again. Great guitar solo, and it's got that rolling drum sound. It's just a brilliant, brilliant track. Then we get Take the Blame, another storming track. You just can't get any better than that. This one's hard to explain. It's just a classic sort of prog rock, metal rock track. Brilliant. Then we get The Last Breath. The double guitar work in this, they play off each other. There's this driving riff that dominates this track from start to finish. Then we get Psychic Imbalance. It's just fast, heavy. Another one of their heaviest tracks. The guitar screeching, shredding, and mixed vocal just is terrific. Hope again, it's just continuing with the great guitar solos and riffs. Another stunning performance vocally. Then we get to the best track, and probably their best track of all time, Breach in My Sanity. It starts off with a church organ. Then it goes into some keyboards, choral sounds, then this heavy riff, a strong guitar solo. It's just fabulous. Fabulous song. Then we get Demon Tears. This is a slower track, but it's got a riff that the keyboard sort of just goes straight through it. And it sounds as intricate as the guitar riff. Absolutely brilliant. Then we get a Thousand Souls. Another great keyboard start on this, and then it goes into that steady riffs of what you expect from prog metal, and the keyboard does enhance this track because it sort of entwines with the guitars again, giving this remarkable sound. Then we got the last track, We Will Remain. It features a young lady called Annette Olsen. This is a great duo between her and Mick. It's Mick, one of Mick's best performances again. It's a great track. It's got a mixture of slow, fast, and this Annette Olsen has got a set of lungs on it. Absolutely terrific. So if you've not heard of this band, go and check them out. They are really, really good. I only come on by them by accident. A friend was listening to it when I went round to see them. I said, well, this is good. Who's this? Cloudscape. I'd never heard of them. And thanks to him, I do like them now. That's all we got for on Cloudscape. But I'll be back later doing another album cover episode. But this is a bit of fun. This is going to be me buying vinyl stuff just because I like the cover, and there's some surprises in there when you see what the covers are. So check that one out, and I will see you all soon. So don't forget, click if you like, click and subscribe to this fantastic channel. I will see you all soon. Bye for now.